Food makes our world go round. Nobody does food like Food City.
This week, save on spiral sliced ham or certified Angus beef ribeye steak, fresh pineapple, Oscar Mayer bacon, or Kraft cheese, and more.
Tennessee's men are dancing in Detroit hoping for another win. Local 3's Ben Bobick is with the team and has more than 16 sweet reasons to watch our reports. Coverage on Local 3 brought to you by Warren & Griffin, your local 5-star law firm.
All of a sudden, his SUV was in my trunk, and I was off to the hospital. Warren & Griffin got me $750,000. 5 stars.
I'm C-Mark.
I'm John Mark.
Call us at 265-HURT.
That's 265-4878. We are your local law firm.
Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years. And now we're going to the sea. Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection. And a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Unexpected pregnancies are challenging and costly. Choices is here to help you with the services you need for free. Choices provides urine and blood pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, STD screening, abortion pill reversal, and after-abortion care. Our medical staff is here for you. If you are unsure about what to do during an unexpected pregnancy, call or text us at 423-892-0803.
This year's St. Jude Dream Home is 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and could be all yours. But you need to get your ticket now before we sell out again. So call, go online, or scan the QR code now to get your ticket before they're gone.
Food City's shortcuts are perfect for quick snacks or cutting down prep time on any recipe. And because they're cut fresh in-store daily, you're still getting produce at its most delicious. Nobody does food like Food City.
Good morning, it's always nice to begin the show knowing that you're watching on the other side of the camera here on 3+U. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful start to your day. We're going to kick off the show actually celebrating in a way one of the most beautiful spots in the viewing area, the Lula Lake Land Trust. If you have never been, I'm sure you've heard about its beauty. Probably you have it on one of your must-dos when you catch their open weekends that occur once a month or so. But this morning, we're talking to the mountain bikers out there because that early bird gets the worm, and Justin Mace and Pat Kelly are here talking about the, say it again, the 5 points.
5 points 50.
The 5 point, I am not a mountain biker. Clearly.
We're here to educate you.
You're here to educate me, and for people like me who, well, people unlike me who might want to do it and they want to go ahead and begin their training, the early bird gets the worm, Justin, so you got to get your hat in now.
Yeah, you got to plan. We get a lot of out-of-towners as well, so they have to plan their travel plans and hotels, camping in the area when they come, because it's, we try to make it a weekend.
I'm a big believer in casting the net wide, okay, in our conversation. So a lot of people watching aren't going to be mountain bikers, but everybody probably who lives here and watches very much appreciates the beauty that we call home. And the Lula Lake Land Trust has been a strong supporter of that for a lot of years now. And you were saying, Pat, that this race kind of embodies the work of the last 30 years.
Yes, so this race is a 50-mile race, and we have a 25-mile race too. So for anyone who is looking to kind of, dip their toe into it, they can start with the 25-mile race. But all 50 miles that this race goes through is trail that Lula Lake has spent the past 15 years building. And we've been operating for 30 years, so it's taken us 30 years to be able to acquire all the land for the trails that this race is going to go through.
If you've never just done a Google search or gone on their website, I encourage you to do it, because the story behind how this land is even still ours to enjoy is really pretty remarkable. Because as I remember the story, it was just kind of semi-abandoned. It was in a family's trust, if you will, but it was their property. But it was highly polluted almost, wasn't it, Pat?
Yes, it was. So the family donated the property in 1994, and that's what started the land trust. And it took about 2 years for them to clean that up. And one of the kind of beauties is when you're going through this race, you can actually see a lot of the different trash piles just from historic dumping So you can kind of step back in history and see what they had to do to clean up where the waterfall is, and the large job that we have across the whole mountain cleaning up this historic trash.
It's truly a labor of love and a gift back
it is,
to
definitely.
our community. So a lot of people, though, mountain biking, how big is the mountain biking world, Justin? You said people are going to be traveling from all over to come to this.
I'd say most of our racers come from all over the Southeast.
Okay.
So neighboring states, you know, western Tennessee. It just kind of depends what they can, but everyone who comes enjoys the race. We make it kind of, it's more like a festival.
Okay.
It's, you know, we have a party at the end, we have food and music, and it's, people bring their families, and there's camping. So it's an event. It's more than just a race.
We have a chance to meet an awful lot of people here on the show, and many of them have chosen to relocate here. COVID brought a lot of them. But it's interesting how many people, honestly, I hear say that they came for the mountain biking. You hear bouldering.
Yep, I've moved
and mountain biking
for all of that.
Really?
Climbing. I think Justin did too. I don't know. I mean, we're not Chattanooga locals, and mountain biking, climbing, paddling.
So you want people, they can, if they want to dip their toe in the water, as you say, Pat. I had asked you, how do they train, because they can't possibly train at Lula Lake, but the truth is, in a way, they can.
Yes, so again, 80% of the trails are open all the time, as well as we're going to have some fun events where people can come out and ride the course at the Core Preserve. So the Core Preserve is the only area that is not open to the public all the time. And so we'll have some training rides, and it's the same as Justin was saying, is we want everything to be fun, you know. So we'll probably have some refreshments, we'll go down the waterfall. Sometimes we make some challenges to maybe win some prizes for the race day. So
you have a little competitive spirit in there.
Always, you know, and we're just always trying to have a good time.
Is there a tip you would give to somebody who's thinking about getting into mountain biking, but they're maybe or should you be a little bit nervous at first? And do you take it slow at first?
I'll let this guy answer.
It's natural to be nervous. It's okay, but we kind of would like to take, you know, the emphasis off the race part of it for a lot of people. Some people are going there to be super competitive and you know, do well in their category, their age group, whatever it may be. But for the most part, most of our racers actually going, you know, to accomplish the race, you know, the distance, and set that as a goal, you know, physically. And you know, the distance is long. Of course, we have the 25-miler as well, but you can soak in all the beauty. I mean, it just takes your mind away. It's amazing riding through the land trust. It's beautiful. So it's really for everybody.
Yeah, my wife, she gets a group of 5 or 6 women every year, tries to, and they just take their time and they stop at all the aid stations, and they soak in the beauty and the atmosphere. So I mean, you can do it almost as slow as you want and enjoy it.
With you at Roost Racing, can people contact you if they want to get just some kind of tips or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm happy, you know, to answer. It's mainly emails or you know, through Facebook. And I've been the race director for a number of years, and all of this is to promote the land trust. So you know, we give our time to.
Does the course change year to year?
It has in the past years. This year will be the same as last year.
Okay.
We changed it for last year and really like this new course. It showcases some new trails that were recently built on Lookout Mountain. So
if this fundraiser keeps bringing in money, we'll keep building more trails, and then the race might keep changing. So.
What's the entry fee? Do you know?
I'm trying to remember. It has different levels at different dates.
95 for the 25 and 100. 110 for the 50.
I set you up on that one.
Yeah.
But if you go to their website, you can see all of the different entry levels and deadlines, I'm sure, too, as you get closer to the date.
Correct.
Prices probably tend to go up. So they're giving you this gift today because June will be here before you know it. So don't wait too long.
Coming quick.
People will begin to register. lulalake.org/events is how you can register and find out more, too, about how you can support the mission of the Land Trust. We're very lucky to have it. Thank you both.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Little things, big things. Every day, people are making a difference in our neighborhoods. At Local 3 News, we share stories of unsung heroes who make our local communities better. How people are making a difference where you live. Fridays at 4, only on Local 3 News.
Garage doors are just like us. They don't like the cold weather. But if it breaks, Precision Garage Door is always ready. We always show up in a fully stocked vehicle so we can get the job done today.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
You know, I got 2 home runs.
You got 2 jacks.
And then my grand slam, I signed the ball for you.
Okay.
And it says, Papa, I love you.
Why did you do that?
Because you taught me everything about baseball.
You're so sweet.
Dude, you seen this new video?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's funny.
No, that's not the funny part.
That's good.
Being forced to watch a 10-minute video is hard. Hiring Morgan & Morgan for your injury is easy.
Oh, that's the wrong video.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, is easy.
Alignment. At Budget Brakes, we use the best alignment equipment to straighten out your steering for the best price in town.
Visit budgetbrakes.com. Brakes starting at just $100. Alignment starting at $59.99.
Summer is for camp at Reflection Riding. Our campers discover nature and wildlife with new friends, exploring a forest full of fun for ages 5 to 13. Make this summer your child's wildest adventure yet. Scan the QR code now to sign up.
Okay, if you drive around Chattanooga, especially on the interstates these days, first of all, there's construction everywhere, it feels like. Depending on the day, people are either driving too slow or they're zooming around you, and probably you get home and you say, gosh, I barely missed 3 accidents on my way to work or home from work. It's crazy around here. We all know that. So do John Mark Griffin and C. Mark Warren, who happen to be here from Warren and Griffin.
Ain't it good to be alive and be in Tennessee?
And look who's prepared for the game. And this is not Blue Jay Blue.
No, that's not Blue. I would not be sitting beside you for Blue Jay Blue, okay? That's a nice game, right.
Okay.
But before we get to the crash cams, John Mark and I take this opportunity to welcome all the out-of-state billboard lawyers to Chattanooga. And to tell them a few things about Chattanooga. First off, you know, in Chattanooga, we think of Chick-fil-A as Jesus Chicken. That's number one.
And it's Lafayette, not Lafayette.
That's right, you know. And don't plan your wedding on a football Friday night, because nobody's going to show up, right?
And what about Highway 58 and 58 Highway?
I thought those were the same roads for a long time, you know, but they're different roads also.
Oh, no, or they're the same road?
They're the same roads.
Yeah,
they're the same roads.
They're the same roads.
And if they need to find their way to the courthouse, we have a picture of the courthouse. Where's the courthouse? That's the courthouse right there.
It's just right here.
So the out-of-state billboard lawyers want to find their way to the courthouse. There it is. Our office is right down there. We're a 4-minute walk.
In fact, they can call us.
They can
we'll
call
take them
us.
up there and introduce them to the
we
judges.
We can introduce them to the judges up there. Yeah, 265-HERC.
Yeah.
265-4878. So if you need to find your way to the courthouse, just come by our building, okay?
Be happy to do it.
Now, back to the crash cam.
Are you through?
I'm through. Are we through now?
We're through.
Okay. You're in charge here, Julie. I'm sorry. You're in charge.
We were just making some jokes actually a minute ago because I said something to Mark Warren about, do you want to move your phone? And they were laughing at me because that's what all women say to the men in their lives.
Yes.
So I'm letting y'all
thank
run
you.
your gamut.
Okay. So much.
I will bring it back for one second. Because wouldn't you agree that traffic is insane?
Traffic is insane, you know, and TDOT has these cameras set up along the interstate, and we all see them watching Channel 3 News, Local 3 News, about the traffic conditions. You bring up the TDOT cameras, and those are cameras that are caught in real time to actually determine traffic patterns, you know. But now we have the ability to bring up actually an accident that happens on the interstate that we can actually use as evidence in negotiations and at trial.
But this is something exclusive to you.
Yes, that's correct. We have exclusive access to that. And what we're able to do is if there is a crash, we can get that footage. We have exclusive rights to it. Nobody else has that right. And we can use that footage to assist in a case.
And we're actually seeing some footage right here of an actual client, and that's what we can bring up now and use for our clients as far as an interstate crash.
Okay, so is this even more relevant now because the police department began to change a little bit when they come to an accident versus not? So what used to be kind of the boots on the ground objective view might not always be occurring.
That's a great point, because not always are you going to have law enforcement at an accident scene. You know, it has to be a certain level of severity to have law enforcement at the accident scene.
And that can differ from department to department. For example, Chattanooga Police Department does something different than, say, the police department in Cleveland. So
Right.
that depends on locale, but nonetheless, these crashes that happen on the interstate, where typically the state troopers get involved. We have exclusive access to that footage.
Okay, you are, you mentioned the out-of-town, the billboard lawyers and everything. So TDOT is the whole state.
Right.
If you happen to have an accident and you are on Monteagle,
Right.
and there's a TDOT camera there,
Yes.
can you still?
We have the ability to track down that footage.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
and use it in negotiations with the insurance company, showing the tragedy actually occurring in real time, to show actually how our clients went through that, and also at trial too, as well, to show the juries.
The great thing about the videos, it removes that element of my word against your word. It actually shows, what happened in real time at the actual speed, and like I said, we have all that footage available.
Will it? I know the way you handle fees, I believe, is it's a contingency fee. So that
Correct.
means if you win.
Yes, we don't get paid unless our clients get paid, and my wife enjoys it when we get paid. So we do screen cases to make sure that there's liability on our side, there's damages, and there's insurance coverage. However, people got to realize that the amount of contingency fees that lawyers charge differs.
Right.
And we have seen contracts from out-of-state billboard lawyers that charge up to 45% in a contingency fee case, 45%.
And Julie, we will never charge more than a third in any type of crash. And also, our clients will never get less money than we do. They're going to always get more than the fee. We're never going to take a fee that's greater than what the client will put in their pocket.
I had a phone call last week of a client that hired an out-of-state billboard lawyer. The case settled for $50,000. Her attorney got 45%. After she paid her doctors, she pocketed $10,000. Out of a $50,000 settlement, she got $10,000. That has never happened at Warren and Griffin. Over 35 years, we have never and will never pocket more than a client gets in a settlement or a jury verdict.
So you don't want to waste
In their pocket.
You don't want to waste your time, and you don't want to waste their time. So back again to this access to the TDOT camera, if it's a relevant case with that.
Right.
Might you ever sometimes use that too to let a person know, you know what, I think this is going to be too tricky to prove?
Absolutely. Video is helpful both ways. It's helpful to establish that there's fault on behalf of the other party. It also may help say, hey client, there's a problem here. Here's the video that shows it. So it can be helpful both ways.
We are monitoring the interstate cameras daily. And so when a crash happens on the interstate, we'll upload that to our social media sites.
Okay.
Where if you are involved in a car accident on the interstate or know someone that is, you can go to our social media sites and look at the video.
Last time you were here, I'm pretty sure it was last time, you were stressing uninsured motorists insurance.
Right. Still are.
Still important.
Remind
Still very
people
important.
of that, yeah.
Still
Well,
important.
if you're hit by, 25% of the drivers on Tennessee roads don't have insurance, zero insurance, and because they're bad drivers and they can't get insurance. And so what happens
Is that why?
Yeah, that's why. They can't afford it.
Either can't afford it or they have to pay high risk
Right,
insurance
right.
and they're electing to make their monthly payment or their premium as cheap as they possibly can. So one of the first ways they can cut is you cut uninsured motorists first, and then you cut liability, and then you have no insurance. So for drivers who do have insurance, you should always opt for that uninsured motorist coverage. It is pennies on the dollar compared to what you're paying for liability coverage.
Okay.
And we still run across clients that we sign up and we dig into the case and there's no insurance on the other driver, even though they might show an insurance card to the police officer, that insurance card is not valid. And so it falls back on our clients to have uninsured motorists. And we have to tell a client occasionally there's just no recovery there because you don't have an insured motorist. there's just no recovery. You can go to court, you can get a piece of paper, but there's no recovery because you have no uninsured motorist. Also, getting your car repaired too. If they have no insurance on the other side and you have liability only, and someone else caused the accident, you're out of the car now.
You may be stuck holding the bag.
Right.
I know, I hate to be like the Debbie Downer, but you also have educated me on the whole 100 deadliest days thing, which is summertime.
It's coming up.
But we've had the daylight saving time switch,
Right.
so our days are longer. Do you see more accidents now?
Really, it's actually when kids get out of school.
Okay.
I mean,
Memorial
Day to Labor Day, we see an uptick of young drivers being involved in accidents.
And we will be talking about that again.
Mom and Dad, it's a great time during Memorial Day weekend to sit them down, get out the contract and say, listen, put away your phone, obey the speed limit, no more than 2 in the car, because really it upticks.
No texting and driving, no distracting.
Okay, so to wrap up, one, the whole TDOT thing, that's interstate only. If it happens to be on, which is it? 58 Highway or Highway 58?
It's 58 Highway.
58 Highway.
If you're from Chattanooga, you say 58 Highway. That's a tell that you're from Chattanooga, 58 Highway.
And Lafayette.
And Lafayette. Not Lafayette.
And Tryon.
And Tryon, yeah.
That's another one.
Tryon.
Not Tryon.
Yeah, Tryon, yeah.
Tryon. And Whitwell.
And Whitwell. You gotta say Whitwell.
Absolutely.
Whitwell. And high school football Friday nights are sacrosanct.
And he will tell you say go Vols.
Go Big Orange!
It's going to be a great night.
Yes.
I don't know how you do it, John Martin. Here's where you'll find them.
34 years of training.
Absolutely.
Still at the Dome Building?
Yeah, still the Dome Building.
265 Hurt, WarrenandGriffin.com.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Come on.
Some people think they can't afford an injury lawyer, but that's not true, is it, Brett?
Nope, not at all. There's absolutely no fee unless we win your case, and we can start helping you today.
I needed surgery after I was hit by a big truck. The insiders took my case. Didn't cost me any money out of pocket.
I didn't have to pay a dime up front, and the insiders got me $100,000.
I'm Brent.
And I'm Jay. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call us.
It's just that easy.
Call 265-1100.
Dateline tonight. A knock on the door.
They said your husband was murdered last night.
I can't really believe this.
Deadly secrets caught on camera and a love story you could never imagine.
Never in a million years.
Dateline tonight, 9/8 Central.
I want Rob out of here.
I'm fighting for my life.
You're mentally drained, physically exhausted. Oh, one more thing. What's inside that case is a game changer.
Deal or No Deal Island, Monday on NBC and Peacock.
All I remember seeing is the big truck headlights and then nothing. I don't think anyone expected me to survive. My wife called Warren and Griffin and they handled everything. I didn't have to argue with any insurance people. I got to focus on getting better. And Warren and Griffin didn't get paid until I got paid. $2.4 million. 5 stars.
I'm C-Mark.
I'm John Mark.
John Mark and I just didn't put up billboards.
We've put down roots.
If you're hurt, call us at 265-HURT.
That's 265-4878. We are your local law firm.
When morning came, all the chief priests and the elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death. And they bound him and led him away and delivered him to Pilate the governor. And Pilate said to them,
Then what shall I do with the man whom you call King of the Jews?
And they cried out again,
Crucify him.
And Pilate said to them,
Why? What evil has he done?
But they shouted all the more,
Crucify him.
So Pilate, having scourged Jesus, delivered him to be crucified.
Okay, let's test your theater knowledge this morning, your musical theater knowledge. If I said to you, have you heard? Would you know what show I'm talking about? If you guessed Anastasia, you are correct. And if you happen to know where you can catch Anastasia for 4 performances, then you can just know already. But the answer is Walker Valley High School in Cleveland. And look how lucky we are to have 4 stars of the show. I've got Bella, Carson, Presley, and Mary, who April 4th through 7th are going to be known as Anastasia, Dimitri, the Countess, and the Dowager Empress. Did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
Great to see all 4 of you. Are you having so much fun with this show?
We are. It has just been such a blast.
You were telling me, Bella, that this is the biggest show y'all have put on at school.
It's a pretty massive production. We have spent a lot of money on these costumes and the set, and it has just been absolutely the most fun show we've ever done.
I know the four of you are here representing the cast, but Anastasia does bring a pretty decent sized cast. Am I right, Presley?
Yes, yes. There's a lot of ensemble members, and we have crew members helping out, and a lot of teachers just assisting us.
So when I said the phrase, have you heard, that's the opening of a song that is?
The Rumor in St. Petersburg.
The Rumor in St. Petersburg, which is a big ensemble number.
Yes.
So you're a senior, Bella.
Yes, I am.
Y'all two are juniors. Here you are, Carson, with the lead, and you're a freshman.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you having so much fun?
Yeah, it's just a good opportunity, you know, to be with great people and just show off talents.
Okay, so let's talk about the great people in a theater department. I think if you're going to be in the arts, you kind of have a kind heart to begin with. I bet, Mary, you're a very supportive group of people, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am. We have a good time. Everyone's very uplifting with the cast. Genuinely, some of like the best people you'll ever meet. I mean, the directors, the cast, all the teachers helping. We've had a really fun time.
Let me tell you about your director. He is so great that he is not in the spotlight today. He's here, but we only had so much room on the set, and he wanted the four of you to have the spotlight this morning, but brag on him a little bit.
I mean, he has been amazing. This is his first year at Walker Valley, but ever since he has come in, it has just been honestly life-changing for the school and for me personally.
Yeah.
He has just been absolutely amazing, and he has changed our theater and like choir department for the better, 100%.
So how familiar were you with the show before you auditioned for it?
I went and saw it my 7th grade year. It was off Broadway, but it was still the Broadway musical because in middle school they take us to go see Broadway shows. And when I saw it, I absolutely fell in love with it. And Anastasia has been one of my dream roles. So
and now here you are.
Getting to play this is a pretty amazing opportunity.
Did y'all know it before? Had you watched the Disney movie when you were kids?
I was there at the same Broadway production, but to be honest, I was bored. I was 6th grade and I fell asleep. But
you were bored! But that's not going to happen when you're on stage next week, right? Okay. Did y'all watch the movie? That was my older daughter's favorite Disney movie,
I saw the movie and heard some of the music from the musical, but I wasn't like super familiar with it.
Yeah. Talk about your sets a little bit, because they have to be impressive.
Yes. I mean, we bought the set from Cookeville High School, so I mean, it is the most beautiful, incredible set you'll ever see. I was like flabbergasted, for lack of better words, when I saw it. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. We feel like we're Disney princesses when we're just staring at it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. For people, you hear a lot about, sports and the rush of adrenaline that you get when you're, making the touchdown on the football team or hitting a home run on the baseball team, and the team camaraderie of a sport. The same is true in the theater, and when you transform into the role you're going to play, it must just do so much for your soul. You're nodding at me, Presley.
Yes, it's crazy. Like, you get on stage and then you get off stage and you're just like, whoa, and you have to like change really fast, and there's a lot of adrenaline.
Yeah. Have you become interested in that time in history now since doing the show?
Yes, for sure. I mean, it was something that I didn't even really think about before, actually stepping into this character, but now that I have, it's become such an interesting thing.
Yeah. And do the two of you, Carson, I'm putting you on the spot, but do y'all have good chemistry? Does she get on your nerves in real life like she has to on stage?
I think we do. I
Yeah.
think we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of already knew each other before the show, so it was pretty easy.
It's a fun way to flirt a little bit on stage. Well, yeah, I see. Well, you have to, right?
Yes,
you have to have that
exactly,
trust, right? You have to be kind of mean to him, and then he warms up to you.
Yeah.
That's how it all goes. Do you have a favorite number?
Ooh. So they actually performed this really sweet romance song. It's called In a Crowd of Thousands. It's, I mean, the harmonies, the acting, it's so precious, and it's absolutely I think the best number. And every time they sing it, everyone is off stage like, yes.
So I know you're the senior. Are you hoping to pursue it in any way?
I've thought about it a lot, but I don't think I'm going to. I'll probably still do it in college, just whatever productions are being put on at Lee, but I mean, not really.
What do you plan to do at Lee?
I plan to be a discipleship major. I'm not really entirely sure what I'm going to do with it, but
well, something great. So let's talk about getting tickets. Mary, you're kind of I'm going to toss it to you because you got this one covered.
Okay, so buying tickets at the door would entail $10 for adults and $8 for students. We have some premiere seating that you can buy in advance, which are $12 to have the premiere seating. If you want to buy premier seating at the door, it's going to be about $15.
Okay. Is it assigned seating, or is it like, do you have a reserved seat, or is it first come first served general admission?
So the pre-sale is assigned seating. You get to pick exactly like where you wanted to sit in any night. At the door, it's just, I think, just general admission. I think it's just wherever.
So get there early.
Yes,
that way
ma'am.
you can get the best seat possible. You do have a matinee on Saturday.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a night show, and then it wraps up with your Sunday matinee.
Yes, ma'am.
It all kicks off April 4th through April 7th. Of course, we wish you to break all the legs, theoretically, of course.
Yes.
And you can learn more if you want to by emailing troland@bradleyschools.org. His first year, and he's got him on TV. Way to go, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ascension Living provides services and amenities to our residents.
It's such a close-knit group. It's so much like family.
Why wouldn't you want to live here too? Come home to Ascension Living.
When morning came, all the chief priests and the elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death, and they bound him and led him away and delivered him